gotta send links to everyone.
Alright, I'm back.
Just give me the top 8. Who the fuck cares about like this?
We start?
Yeah, we're live, but I'm just getting all my notes up.
Mm.
I'm just gonna GG top 8. It's way better. Much better site. Much cleaner.
Much better.
Oh yeah. Cutter.
Such a beautiful top 8.
I guess you like mirror matches.
Nothing but red.
This is actually pretty good to look at, yeah. Omniscient combos. Omniscient combo made it. Just was curious with the top 8. Better drafters, for sure. I can do this stuff in the background while we go. You can buy just the box. People do that crap where you can just buy the box and no packs. I'm like, technically, I got you.
Mm.
Which is real scummy. Oh my goodness. Got 116, 1100, or 1100. 111 sold at that price. All right, 3, 2, 1. You are listening to episode 204 of Paper Player. I'm your host, Tony, joined with Josh, Jeff, and JB. And yes, we have a whole crew. And yes, there's a lot of news. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be going over today. So,
Yep.
nice. I like it. As far as the kind of the show notes, we have Pro Tour Red, Final Fantasy Collector Boost prices, Pack War Vegas, MagicCon experience overall, Edges of Eternity, the first look, Commander changes, Avatar Aang, Lorwyn and Strixhaven confirmed for 2026, and MagicCon schedule for 2026 has also been confirmed, which is very fascinating because we're halfway through the year and it's like I think we only have one more MagicCon. Yeah, it's only one more MagicCon left, and that's pretty much it. And then whatever comes forward from there. But I guess before we get into the
chess, bro.
huh?
That's cool.
What is?
Were you playing chess?
I always play
That's
chess.
Cool.
Yeah, all the time.
That's cool. I play chess occasionally.
Yes, I play about.
My coworker dunks on me though.
Yeah, I do want. I need to pass like 30 minutes, or I'm waiting for something to download. That being said, let's talk to Jeff. I know you were unable to join us in Vegas, but you were there in spirit. Did you play any Magic?
That's the top 8 shows.
Yeah.
I did. I've been playing standard, just kind of grinding the ladder for to pass time. Like I was in an Uber twice today for like 25 minutes each round, and I think I got like 3 matches in each time.
Holy crap! I mean, that's a lot. So.
I mean, well, when you play red, you just win.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what the format's going to look like after, but yeah, that's good, dude.
But yeah, I've been doing that and just doing some drafts for Final Fantasy because the set's just a lot of fun to draft.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it has its archetypes, but there's so many different ways to build those archetypes and those colors.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun.
Sweet, dude. I mean...
And I started building my Final Fantasy Commander deck.
You did? I took 3 Commander decks with me, played only one of them, so...
I'm building Cecil, so we're going to see how that goes.
It's black-white?
Yep.
Is it Timna, Cecil? I opened a Cecil that is Timna on the bonus sheet.
Nice.
Oh, no. This is the set Cecil, the
Right.
1-drop that flips.
That which kind of made me want to play. I've never... That she's supposed to be really good commander.
Mm-hmm.
Timna.
Just by herself, or is it? It's usually like she's a partner, isn't she?
It's a partner commander or whatever.
Yeah, she's really
Just
good.
I like opened the Titus Thrasios
Mhm.
in Vegas, but I traded it into the dragon that I needed for Dragon's Approach. Which I would have had Timna Thrasios or whatever from Final Fantasy, but it's probably a good idea. Don't play that deck.
Right.
Yeah. You just get people kind of mad.
Well, boys, how was Vegas?
Kick us off, Josh. Tell me about Vegas.
I had a blast in Vegas. It was a great time.
That was really good.
Friday. Well, Friday getting in, like, it was like kind of like kind of cool or whatever, like to see like the giant line of people to get in or whatever. Like I went through the.
Yeah, because
I
you
went
went
through
early,
with
right?
everyone. I got into the line and like walked through and did all of it like properly or whatever, and like I did the experience, the con experience, and it was actually rather smooth.
Yeah.
Especially for like we got like that special like line for being a
Yep.
content creator or whatever,
hmm
which was cool.
Kind of flex, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was empty. I was like,
But
ooh.
I immediately went into the merch line, which was like already like 3 hours long.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was
I waited in line
brutal.
for 3 hours to get merch, but all the merch I did get was cool.
Mhm.
They like you would think by now that like, because like every time I've gone to one of these things, the merch line is always 3 hours long. You would think by now they would have it figured out, right?
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I wish it was it's pretty fast, but it's just like there's just
Not
well,
fast.
I'm saying they have 20 people there, and the problem is like people go like they've waited 3 hours, so then they make a lot of impulse buys up at the front, whereas I think
Right.
there should be a system where it's like scan a QR code,
Pre-buy, walk up,
yeah,
get your stuff.
add stuff. Well, the downside is they have
that
limited
makes it-
supplies, so if you
Well,
get to
and
the
that
line,
makes
you
it-
get screwed.
I
No,
guess.
they should just have way more people like doing it. They should have like the entire wall should be
Like
and I
50
don't mean,
people.
like
Yeah.
yeah, they should be like 50 people doing it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason like the amount of like money they made this weekend. There's no reason why they can't have people like they even have volunteers doing it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, for sure.
There's like no reason why they can't have more people.
Yeah.
done.
When I got into line, it took me only a half hour to get to the front. It wasn't that bad.
Lucky boy.
When?
On Sunday. hmm
Oh, okay. But did you or
I got everything I
Did you-
wanted.
did you get did they still have collector packs?
They set off like a certain amount per day, so like they didn't completely buy out. And then people were doing the line con experience where they're just going through multiple times, and they set up a deterrent where it's like they were taking down people's like names because they were like, we saw that person twice, like let's fix this,
That's smart, whatever.
yeah, because
I
it's just
did it once and I immediately gave them to Antonio or whatever.
mhm.
And that's why I figured if you just like made it so you'd have to have a badge number
yeah.
to order online,
Everyone
you
thought
could like,
that's what it was, but I was like, no way. I saw it did not.
and then you
work
just
like
walk
that.
up and pick up your stuff. Like get in line, pick it up. I wish. I think
Board
that'd be so
shorts
much better.
were super cool when I like was looking at them and I like impulse bought. I saw them, I wanted them or whatever. 'cause
So
I'm a
you're
sucker-
part of the problem. No.
Just,
I'm a sucker for no, like it wasn't impulse buy. That was like I wanted merch or whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
go for. And the shorts were something new or whatever, and I bought them. But I
Mhm.
was like upset to find out that they had no pockets.
oh, that's brutal.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The button up is nice. I got that. And I
The
got
black
some
one
shirts.
with all the mana symbols.
Yeah.
That one's very cool. I wanted to buy that
I
one, but I
was
was
not
like,
going to get that one at first because I was expecting to spend $123 on a collector pack, like Antonio was like gassing up.
But they didn't have
But
any.
that was not the
No.
case.
no.
So I did end up getting it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I like hunted down the 2 remaining dragon scale foils I needed for
Nice.
Dragon's approach. So I got all the black red ones.
Yeah.
Only missing the Misty. And then we did the meet and greet, which was a blast.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was like
The Magic
I was
Minute
like-
was great. Your
Yeah.
like
we did.
rapid
I was
fire thing was
expecting-
smart.
Yeah.
I was expecting more people, but like I kind of liked how like chill and calm it was. Even Friday was actually the entire con was kind of like chill and calm.
Well,
Yeah.
and we still had people coming up. Like
Right? Yeah, we still had people.
like I
coming.
said, I think Tony was smart in making that little sign because it's like get people engaged.
The
Yeah.
one
It'll make 'em
minute
wanna come
interviews
up.
Was fun. Yeah.
I
Yeah, we did get to meet some like cool people, and like the networking was really good on Friday.
Mhm.
I got to put on my best Carney face, and like it's crazy because if you just look at someone in the eyes and they look down at the thing you're holding and you just like, I would just wiggle my eyebrows and they'd like, they
Lure
literally
'em
just
in.
come over.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just come over. It was so funny.
Well, it's you always get the people that are wandering alone. They're like, I need something
Yeah.
to do. Like they've been they've been walking
Or
alone for like a
couples
couple
or
hours.
whatever,
Just
and then they
yeah.
read your thing and they go, I don't know, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like they've been waiting in lines all day. They want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Plus, it's a chance to give your opinion, which is perfect. Everyone.
Oh
loves
yeah,
to do
people
that.
are rattling
out
off stuff.
handed out a bunch of shirts, and then we got to our event on Saturday,
Mhm.
which was overwhelming blast. Like way more excited. It was better than expected.
Mhm.
Mhm.
There was some cool stuff that happened. There was someone that opened the neon green chocobo in ours. There was a Surge foil Tifa too, right?
The Naya Commander, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good hits all around. Like there was just
There's a bunch of good hits.
I think every collector booster, or sorry, every collector box, not collector box, sorry, every play booster had
Boost box
a
had a
Sephiroth
Sephiroth.
or a
Yeah.
VV. Like people were just hitting. I was like,
Which
man,
was
this
great.
is nice. I was like, good, no whammies, you know.
Right,
Yep.
there was hits. I like
No
this
feels,
set.
man.
There's like hit. I can't believe the prices because the hits are just over and over. These boxes are. Like,
I wouldn't say that. It's usually one or the other. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about opening 2 VVs or a Sephiroth and a VV. It's like one or the other a lot of the time.
Yeah, one of the play boosters that I
you
got
get,
from
like, the
Amazon.
wrist study and stuff like that too, or you
Yeah.
get, like the $200 Nishotova or whatever. I don't know that.
Mhm.
word.
I had my wife open up
Y'shtola.
our play boosters that we got from Amazon, and she hit double Sephiroth, meaning that the first pack was a full art like cool Sephiroth, like the Final Fantasy card, and then I got the Atraxa. I was like, oh my
Nice.
god! And I only let her open my packs 'cause if I touch them, it's automatic lands,
Right.
always rare lands.
And
True.
uh,
I know that feeling.
the
No, I guess I shouldn't say that. I opened a Sephiroth in one of my packs.
we had the champion from Vegas last year come back and enter into the event.
Oh yeah,
Which
Yeah,
I
that's
thought was
funny.
super cool.
yeah. There's
He got
multiple.
bodied immediately. He got knocked out.
All
He was
the people
first
that-
guy out in the round.
So I
Shout
think
out to
yeah.
everyone who came back and saw us again. There was plenty of people. I missed this when I was talking about the meet and greets. Plenty of people who came back and like saw us in like Chicago or the Vegas before.
Yep.
And shout out to all those people who are like real fans. Like it's still a hard time believing that we have fans, but like obviously we do.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like shout out to everyone who's like who listens to this and hears that.
Very cool. And there's a guy talking to me. He's like, I'm doing exactly what you're doing. He's like, I'm getting one of everything. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a 2-year journey, my man. Because the Surge foils, they just keep going up. So it's like, I think I have to start with the top-down approach where I'm just going to have to start shelling out. Like,
Yep, you just take the big hits immediately, so that way when you start collecting the last little bits, it's like nothing.
I've been loading up my trade binder. It's mainly if I get there's like the 2 Clouds, the 2 Tifas, and I should have bought the Pro Tour Cloud because, god damn, that's a bad beat.
Yeah.
That thing's selling for
How
like
much is it?
We had a line for possibly getting them at $400
yeah, and I
on
was
Friday.
I was a little bit of a pussy about them. I had like 3 I could have got for 400 a pop, and I was like, oh wait. And then all of a sudden, like I found out they're selling for 1,000. I'm like, or their dealers are buying them for 1,000. I was like, god damn it. And then like people were putting them in the case for like $2,000, and they were just going within 25 minutes. I was like, son of a bitch. Like I could have snapped 3 of them up and then kept one for me, and then obviously like made money, which would have been ridiculous, you know. And then the foil one's going for like $28,000 right now, but there's only 8 of those, so
Yeah, because it's top 8 only.
yeah, top 8 only gets it, so it's rare. Yeah, so it's a cool cloud though, like for real. It's pretty clean looking. Yeah.
But yeah. And then Sunday I did a draft. I drafted Black White. My pack one pick one was Adeline,
Yep.
which was like some Final Fantasy character.
Yeah.
And I played like Black White tokens. I went 2-1. I only lost one game, or I lost 2 games in round 2
Mhm.
to some red green deck that just ran me over.
Yeah, it's probably like the Chocobo deck. There's a couple things going on. Like there's probably
There
yeah.
was like, hang on, I don't think I ever saw a chocobo. I saw a bunch of like ramp spells.
Mm,
He like Farseeked me and then played some like went and fetched up 2 lands
sure.
and drops like a dinosaur with like trample, and I was like, wow, this is poetic.
Oh, that's the FF8 dinosaur, the one that
Yeah.
had forest cycling.
Nice.
Yeah, that one. I was like, wow, this is poetic, and just ran me over.
For sure. Yeah, that stuff's crazy.
And I also got like the Odin in my sealed pool.
hmm
Like did a lot of work for me.
Yeah, that card's a do or die, baby. It's like you are going to die ASAP.
And then
Getting Odin still.
I went stood in the prize ticket line. Got 3 more packs. Opened up like the Titus and something else that I traded. I traded all my stuff in and got the dinosaur, the missing dragon for my. Or wait, the missing dragon and the remaining black-red lands that I needed again, like Blood Crypt and what's the surveil one? Rakuus Theater.
Oh, Rock Caucus or whatever.
That stuff for
Yeah.
the dragon deck.
Yeah.
Picked up that stuff for the dragon deck, and then that was a wrap. Went to In and Out.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Our kind of experience. Me and JB, we got in on Thursday. Late. Played a little bit at the tables.
Yep.
I lost
Yeah,
money.
it was lame. Our
Yeah.
what's it called? Got
Flight got
our
delayed.
flight got pushed back by like 2.5 hours. It was crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, it's not the end of the world. We could have done more stuff Thursday, and then
Yeah.
Friday, hung around the con. Basically, after our meet and greet, I was like, let's get out of here and go do something else. And then gambled. We had actually plans lined up, and then and thankfully I looked at that thing because we had to go pick up our wristbands from the
Right,
will
for our
call.
party.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god, that was a nightmare, dude. That put me in such a bad mood.
Dude, it sucked because I was like, JB was napping because he's a child. I was like, okay. I was like, we gotta get up. And he's like, what? I'm like, it's 6 o'clock now. The will call ends at 7, and I just looked up for the Grumgully like thing. We have to pick we have to go and
Yeah,
get these
celebrity.
now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
mean, it
all right.
wasn't that bad. I just woke up.
I was
drank
so
another
mad because I
drink,
had
and
just
went.
got back to the hotel. I was like, bro, I just got back. I wish you would have told me 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
we
bad.
just didn't look at it.
It was
either,
like legit
so we
bad
had to,
beats. Like
run.
you called me and I was like literally on the webpage. I was like, hey, it's some bad news. We got to get back to the con now. So so we got that. The Grumgully like after party was fun. Like it was just like generic DJ. Like I hate to say like kind of poo poo it, but they did have karaoke, which from the videos I saw from people posting, the karaoke probably
Goofy.
I think it was a lot more fun to do karaoke because it was such a bigger crowd.
Well, yeah,
and-
everyone's cheering. Other people on stage and all that.
Yeah, and I got
I would
a.
say that Meow Wolf is better than the Meow Wolf in Denver.
Is
I
it?
think so.
Vegas one.
For the size.
Yeah, and like
There's just a
like,
lot
the
more
experience,
going on.
Like, yeah, we didn't even get to do any of those cool rooms, but
Mm-mm.
those cool rooms were better than the ones in Denver.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I got a little picture with Aaron Forsyth. I was like, "What's up?" Got a little like, "Oh, you're at the
front
rave."
of the
I was like,
pseudo
"Ooh."
rave.
I
Yeah,
was
at
like,
the
"What's-"
front
I
of
was
the
like,
place.
I gotta see it. I was like, all right, this is my only
It was
shot.
so funny.
He was a little tipsy, but it was very cool. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
I was like, hell yeah. Then we did some arcades upstairs, and then we had to call it a night because it was like basically midnight. And then our event started the next day at 11, so I wanted to make sure that we were all squared away for that.
Ready to
And
go.
then-
Right.
Saturday.
That Swords to Plowshare, you had to win that.
No, that was if so. There was
I mean,
specific.
this Swords to Plowshare right here.
Yeah, that one. Nice.
I ended up buying a second one after. I'll
Yeah,
tell you in a little bit.
Yeah, so that one I think you had to get specifically for Final Fantasy specific events. So all like the
Yeah.
we didn't know. I think
The
we knew
free
about
reg
the yeah.
events that were on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were sold out within like the first
30
how
minutes.
many ever days of it opening way back when.
Yeah, so
I
that,
thought it was Two-Headed Giant too. You guys
Yeah, it
played
was.
yep.
Two-Headed Giant,
Anything?
right?
No, we didn't.
No,
we,
that
we-
was not,
That was not a
Final
Final Fantasy
Fantasy
event. It
related.
had to be specifically Final Fantasy related. So I didn't get that, or we didn't get that.
Okay, I was wondering how Jeff had one or JV had one, and I
I'll
thought
tell
you guys
you,
got
I'll
it
tell
from
you.
the Two-Headed Giant one.
Yeah.
No.
And then did a pack war, which again a lot of fun, amazing time. And then right after our pack war, there was we did the content creator, group photo, which was really cool. I think JB
Yeah,
was
I
taking a
did-
pee.
Did you?
Yes.
Did did we get those photos? I want to see it.
I've been trying to find it. I can't.
I made
So
I made the guy behind me mad. I think.
yeah. So I was trying to find it, and I was like, somebody will probably post it now because, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of photos there, and then they'll figure out from there. And then after that, Meaty Magic was there, or the guy that makes Papa Meat, whatever you want to call it, the guy that makes like those really. He just like got in the Magic scene like last year, but he's like YouTube famous from his
Other stuff.
yeah, he's known for his other
Animations.
stuff. His animations. And they opened up a beta box, which had a huge crowd there.
You're wrong. I watched the video. It was a because they put it up today.
Oh, okay.
It was beta starter deck.
Oh, that's way okay. The way they were, someone said it was a beta box. I was like, oh my god. I was
No,
like, I don't even
it
know how
was
you
just a
get
beta
that.
starter. I mean, not just, but you know what I mean.
Still. That was a cool thing, and then so we basically skedaddled out of the con, and then spent
You want to
some.
know what their rare was?
What was it? A volcanic island?
No, a Nivril disc was the best thing they got.
The minerals, yeah.
Yeah, Nivrils disc.
Yeah. I mean, still.
Yeah, they got pretty burned.
Yeah, a lot of those old packs, man. They beta's like not fun to open because there's no basic lands. So you had to every pack had like 15 or 20 basic lands, like especially if it's a starter.
There was like 3 other uncommons got eaten by a land.
Yeah, which it's just how it works, right? It was listen to
Well, you
stories
need
of
lands,
yeah.
right?
Dude, you should listen to stories from people who played back in like revised and beta. Like there was just not a lot of lands, so like you'd be playing a red green deck with 6 swamps because that's you just had to find lands to play because you just didn't have them. Like they weren't readily available, you know. But
Yeah, it's not like today where there's just a huge cache of them at every event.
went to dinner, lost some more money, and then
Mhm.
Saturday and I don't did I go back to the con on Saturday? I did. I drafted. I did a mystery 2 booster draft and won. And
Yep.
then Sunday with you we did the 2-headed giant with Gavin Fairhair, which we had a very cool card. Jeff did or JB did. He had a Mox Painter.
I like that one that was split second or that instant that you win the game.
Yeah, I won with that, and I
That
don't know
one
why.
was cool.
Yeah, that's a weird card because you have to like be losing. So like I'm losing, like but my hand, I know how good my hand is. So I'm like I'm gonna play this, and he's like, all right, let's let it ride. I'm like, okay, because you can just concede. You don't have to.
Yeah, what the card is 4 mana or 5 mana?
It's 5-minute instant, and then you can cycle it
It's
for
a 5
one.
mana instant that says your opponent can.
It just says the whoever wins this game wins the match. So and then it says at any time anybody can concede while the spell's on the stack, and then it does not resolve. So
So you can just forfeit game 1 if you think you can win game 2 and 3.
So basically,
You don't
if
think
you're like
you're
way
gonna
ahead
win.
on board advantage and you cast that spell, your opponent just concedes that it doesn't resolve. So you have to pick your position of the like. It looks like I'm behind, so I'm gonna cast this now,
That's tricky.
and
great.
then you're like, psych. I'm
Check
gonna
it out.
yeah.
Actually, gotcha.
Actually, I'm the winner. Like
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
and then met some people through that too. Classic name Tristan Sean Grayson, which I don't know if you guys remember TSG from the old Channel TV or Channel Fireball. He was in my draft pod. Yeah, he was good. He was actually good times. I liked him a lot. Him and his crew was really cool. And then me and JB did that mystery event, and at the mystery event, we went 1-on-1. And then it was like there was no like wins or losses. They mattered to some degree, but it was kind of whatever. And we were just like, all right, let's go. We had 1 more hour before they stopped letting events. So then I went and did another mystery booster that was single limb, and I won that too. So I got a whole bunch of play points or
Look
whatever.
at this guy.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? I got a whole bunch of play points.
Commander.
I did play a game with Game Manager. I played that on Friday with some content creators. I played my Talran deck because they were like, we're gonna play you playing 3s, and then you learn what the other side of Magic is. Because I'm so used to playing with people that like know cards. This isn't to insult anybody who is a content creator, but mainly people who there's a lot of crossover of I've been reached out to be a content creator, but Magic is not my thing. I do something else. And then they just like play Commander precons with like 10 upgraded cards maybe every 3 months. So it's like you just see like cards you've never seen before, which is cool because you get exposure to cards that you never see. You're like, oh, what the hell does that do? Oh, okay. But then also like it's the classic play style of like I don't really know what my cards do because I so infrequently play. So it's like, okay, well, that's fine. And I had and then the other people that are hosting it, that was cool. So.
Precon Magic is my favorite, so I'm in for that stuff.
Yeah, so it was 3 of us with non-pre-con decks, and then 1 person with like a pre-con that was like upgraded with like a couple cards, if you know, things they picked up from like 3 booster packs, like nothing crazy, but you're just like, that looks like a draft common. That's not even part of the pre-con.
I mean,
like,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, it's fine, like no big deal. And then I won that because you know, Talran OP. I got to do a Cryptic Command where I drew like 22 cards off of it because someone played a bunch.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. There's a card there's an enchantment from Ravnica that whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it wasn't attacking, you draw a card. So if they act like it's meant to like stop like activated abilities and so forth or mana dorks. But if you just tap their entire team with Cryptic Command and you tap 22 permanents and they weren't attacking, you draw 22 cards. So I was like, all
Oh
right.
my god.
I was like,
That's so
he just kept making like Dryad Arbors. And the deck that the guy built was actually very interesting. It was a blue-green Simic one from the Modern Horizons 3. And the idea of it was to gain so much mana to keep casting your general to make copies, to make 1 additional Dryad Arbor, and just keep doing it. And it was like very fascinating. He's like, I'll keep the copy around. I'll keep sending my original one back to the command zone, keep casting it, and just keep it's like a pseudo infinite mana loop. He did have Gaia's Cradle in there, but he did have the flip Guy's Cradle. So when he was doing that, when he like rattled up occasion, he made like 30 Dryad Arbors. I was like, oh shit. And then someone played Crypt Rats, and I was like, all right. While Crypt Rats, he like tapped out, so he had no extra mana. Well, I was like, while Crypt Rats is on the stack, I will Cryptic Command and draw all these cards. That's all. But yeah, it was
funny.
a lot of fun. And then he did one more mystery booster draft, and then I blame JB for going 1-1, which we'll be creating a new segment for that called "Does JB Know His
Yeah.
Cards?" It's fun, but yeah. JB,
Yeah, the opponent we played against had his commander for the thing was when it was on the battlefield, when your opponents go to draw for their turn, you get to look at the top card of their deck and they have to name you give them the name of the card, and then they have to name the casting cost, the power and toughness if it has it, and then the type line.
Yeah, so it's at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, look at the top cards of their libraries, tell them the name of the card, you tell them cost, type line, power, and toughness. And if they get anything wrong, they draw a card.
Yeah, it was great.
And Jeff just doesn't know his cards.
I loved it. Yep.
Just doesn't know any of them.
I don't know anything.
I got all mine because I read my cards before I put them in my deck.
I don't need to know what kind of creature type it is.
I don't even know how you win games of limited, dude. And I'm so confused.
I don't. That's the secret.
I know. I discovered I couldn't. You were too heavy of a head. I was dragging you along. I was like, come on. No, their decks were good though. Like there's no we weren't gonna, even if you got those things right, we weren't winning. We just weren't
tough.
No, we just they so it was 3 mystery boosters and 3 Tarkir play boosters. And they opened up the Storm Dragon, which Intuitive Giant is like infinitely better because one person can build up Storm and then they just play it. And then so I think it was like on turn, whatever. It was later in the game where we were both basically depleted, and they played 4 of the 4/4 that gives each other dragon +1/+1, and it has Storm, so they were all 7/7s. So we're like, oh, we're just dead. Like he's got
Yeah, I was like, all right.
surprise 28
it.
damage of flying. And it was commander style too, so that was fun too. But yeah.
So you talk about JB and said you guys went 1-1, but when I played with JB, we went 3-0.
I tried my best. I tried to drag him along.
Right.
I tried my hardest. Our round 1 opponents hated our guys because I went smokestack and I ruined
Oh,
their
that was
day.
so bad.
I was like, JB was like, "This card's bad." I was like, "Let me show you." He was like, "I'm not gonna play this." I was like, "Give me smokestacks. I'll show you how. I'll show you how."
No.
Smokestack
I
works."
said, do you want to play this? And he said, yes.
I was like, "Oh yeah, let me show you the real magic of
Oh, it was
smokestack."
miserable. She was down to 2 lands on like turn 6 or something.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, we played removal spells, and then and then they were unfamiliar with smokestack. So I was like, okay, how it actually works is it has 2 triggers. I'm gonna stack them so like I always benefit from not losing on the soot counters. And then he mind twisted them, and then and then he regrowth mind twist and mind twisted the other person. Which
Oh
was-
my
It
god!
was so ridiculous.
it was a bad time. They were not liking it.
I was gonna say that sounds awful.
I was like, "Oh, you guys want to play Magic?
It's real.
We're not playing Magic. We're beating you down." And they were just like, "I want to concede." Just immediately. I was like, yeah, well, this is the Magic I like to play, Suffering. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was good. But cool, man. JB, did you get anything special out of
All right.
Magic Con? Did you win any money at gambling, or did you go negative overall?
No, I went negative.
Nice, nice, nice.
I lost what I expected to lose. That's what I'll say about that.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So to add to it, on Thursday when you went to bed after being mad about losing blackjack,
I lost 13 straight hands. I have every right.
I know.
I was like, that's it.
I'm just saying. When
Tonight's
you
not my night.
When you stormed off to bed,
I
went to
couldn't
another
handle it.
table that was almost full. There was only one seat open. I sat down. All Magic players.
Yeah.
We chit-chatted a bunch. If you're listening, Eric and Arlen,
Mm-hmm.
thanks for hanging out and playing EDH. Sorry we couldn't play anymore over the weekend. But, we were gambling, and at one point, a couple of them lost all their money that they wanted to spend, and then a couple more of them were sitting there with me. And they were like, it's like 2 o'clock. They're like, all right, 2:15 if we're out of money, or at 2:15 flat, we're just going to go play EDH in the front lobby. And I said, deal. So
Yeah.
I walked upstairs, 2:15 a.m., woke Tony up for like 5 seconds, took my deck downstairs, played for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So I got in like a super late night EDH game.
Oh, yeah.
Friday, I should have been looking for those Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, it's
wasn't.
if we all had hindsight, we would have made out
Sure.
like bandits. You know what I mean? Like the hindsight of everything, I would have left there with $40,000.
Although I did hear that there was a guy who was picking them up for like 20 to 50 bucks
Mm-hmm.
from people, and then he got chucked out of the thing.
Oh,
He
yeah,
got
yeah.
thrown out of the hall.
Good. That's come on, dude. You can't. Whatever. Anyways,
It's pretty ridiculous.
yeah, that guy's a jerk.
So Friday had the meet and greet. Good
Mhm.
time. Like I said, got to use my Carney skills like a madman. It was great. People were like, I just look at them, raise my eyebrows a little bit, like kind of smile, and then they'd be like, all right, I'm coming over.
We're in, baby.
What was I gonna say? Friday night. Where did we go Friday night? I don't
We
even
went to the rave.
Oh yeah, the party. Right,
And then we
right.
came
And
home
then
and
we're
went to
like, all right, calling it quits, boys.
Yeah, we
and then
had
I went to the table for like 20 minutes and then came back upstairs.
Sure.
Listen, I like gambling.
I don't.
If I'm in a place where it's 24/7 and it's right downstairs, I'm probably gonna do it as long as I have.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Stay within my budget.
I'm not gonna fight you.
So I did a lot of like random hopping on tables for 30 minutes, like on Saturday when I went back to the con, or when I went back to our room. I forget what I went to go get. Was it Friday or Saturday? It might have been Friday before the meet and greet. But there was another content creator who was in our hotel who I was at the tables with like multiple times, just chit-chatting throughout the weekend,
For sure.
playing blackjack and other carnival games. Dude, I love that you love that term. It's because they're all just scams. When I say that, I mean things like Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, stuff like that. Anyone who has
Actually,
gambled
I like
more
that
than-
game a lot. That's like a new
3-card?
game that I was exposed to. Yeah, that was very cool.
3-card's fun. I got really lucky.
Hell
So
yeah,
did you.
dude.
I don't know. I always have like I'm either on blackjack or I'm on carnival games.
I mean, that's you're either on or you're off, right? You don't get to choose. That's just not how it works.
Huh?
Dubstep.
Yeah. So Saturday
That's
we
correct.
did our biggest pack war, world's largest pack war.
The biggest.
Probably the coolest thing that happened while we were doing that was there was a family who came up
Mm-hmm.
in our 4th heat.
Yeah.
All those kids.
Oh,
yeah, and those kids, one of them, his name is Hunter, came running up to me as I was walking away to go ask a question from somebody over on somewhere. I think I might have been handing out more cards. Came running up to me and like was super excited to talk to me. He's probably like 5 years old, maybe 4. came running up to me and he's like, "You're my favorite character from Final Fantasy.
Oh,
my
nice.
dad always my dad always names me after your character. I love the white mage. Like, this is great." And I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh, this is great." And his dad came up and was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like, he's just really excited." I'm like, "I don't care. Like, it's fine. This is great. This is exactly what I want." Like,
Those kids
So
all
that
got
was-
t-shirts. It was great.
yeah,
Hell
they
yeah,
had a
dude.
great time. But
I think that's like
but
the
that
big-
made me laugh a lot. I was like, "All right, good. I did wear this costume, a white mage costume,
Yeah.
and it made a kid happy. That's good. That's all I need."
That's like the biggest win, right? It's like the event, you don't need to know how to play Magic. Like one of the finalists was
Right.
like, I don't know how to play Magic. I was like, that's the best part. You don't need to. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
You just have to show up. That's all you
Yep,
have to
yep, yep.
Yep. And we'll tell you how to do everything, and we'll help you along if you need it.
do. Mhm.
It was killing me because the tables behind you, Tony, you'd face to the
Yeah, there's
Right.
like I need
face like northwest of where the wheel was.
yeah.
And like everyone behind you at the tables behind you would be
Yeah,
like,
I
"What
can't
is
hear
he
him.
saying?" And I'm like, "I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah,
tell
I-
you."
Your
if you
voice,
get stuck."
your voice disappears so quick, Tony.
Dude, what do you want me to
Well,
do? I can't scream at the top of my lungs.
Well, I was about to say on top of that, it's like you're in a giant area
Yeah.
with no acoustic. Like, it's just out into the aether, right?
And there's all the noise pollution, so it's like it's
Yeah, you just,
hard.
like half. It's hard to
I
get
don't think
over
he
it.
has those octaves in his vocal range either.
Well, I can get deep. It's just if I yell, I like you have to preserve your voice.
You need to be higher octave. You have to be.
Like I can get there.
Yeah.
What
Like
do
an
you want from
opera
me?
singer.
Can you
Plus
talk
out your
like that all the
Italian.
time?
Devotion to blue.
The airwave.
Shiva. I can do it. I would just lose my voice immediately.
Yeah.
The best thing I'm gonna if
Like, I don't know, like, it's so dry out in Vegas. Oh my god.
Dude,
And
I-
water is the most valuable resource out there. You know how many times I like went to go fill my water bottle in the convention and the shit was empty?
Really.
yeah, it
I
was.
never had an issue with that. I don't know.
I was always able to hit.
did.
Like I had like one time where I went and it was empty. I was like, all right, brutal. But yeah,
Yeah.
Every time I did that too, I would knock all the little stupid cones over.
yeah, for sure.
So
You feel like an idiot. I'm like, bro, why is this fucking thing empty?
Saturday, in terms of like going out, I think was the best night.
Yeah.
Just because me and Tony rode the monorail that we had down to like the
Shout out
south
to it.
end of the strip that was like super far away.
Yeah.
So it was nice to go to all those places, like
Mhm.
New York, and Excalibur.
Yeah. That
Uh,
was quite nice.
Well, it was so funny because we were sitting at Excalibur, and Magic players are all over. We're sitting there, and this dude is just hammering the casino, and he's just betting like all over the board. Like he tells us that he won, I think it was what, $4,000 earlier on like Thursday or something like that. And he's like,
Sure.
yeah, and I've been opening sick amounts of cards. Like I've gotten a couple of Seth Ross. And we're like, oh, you're a Magic player. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
And then some other guy at the table was like, "Wait, you play Magic? You guys play Magic? Yeah. We're here." Like that happened a bunch.
Fucking nerds, bro.
yeah. What
It
do you
was
want?
so fun.
Happened
I
to me
loved
at
it.
In and Out. I met like a really cool guy at In and Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday, I played with Tony and the Two-Headed Giant, and then I went to play my own. I got in the wrong pool. I wanted to play Swiss. I got into the competitive one and done
Mm-hmm.
for Mystery Booster 2. Got destroyed. So I was like, okay, let's go find out what prices are on Swords to Plowshare, because I really want one for my deck, because it's the right kind of anime, even though I'm not
Anime.
super into
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
Saw that, and
14.
I was
It's like,
oh my god, that is a JB anime.
yep,
art
it's like a
is fucking
generic,
so
it's
good.
like a generic elf, like I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
So-
Lalafell, isn't it?
That was
It might
that's
be.
JB's flavor of anime. That Swords to Plowshare.
Lalafell's
Gotcha.
like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I started walking around the dealer hall. I was asking a bunch of dealers, like, hey, how much are you selling the Swords to Plowshare for? Do you have any of the Swords to Plowshares? I would normally start it. And then some of them would be like, we're not selling, we're only buying. And then they would tell me the price that they were buying for.
Yeah.
And I walked up to a booth and said, hey, do you guys have the Swords to Plowshare? And he goes, no, but we're buying for 400 right now. And like 5 minutes before that, someone told me, yes, I'm selling it for 300. I have one copy.
Mm.
So I fucking ran across the room to that other dealer, bought it for 300, ran back to the other dealer, sold it for 400, and then someone else I knew, one of the locals, had gotten me one and messaged me saying he had it for 200, and I was like, okay, in my mind, I'm buying this for 100 technically because I made this 100. Like, yes, it is $200,
Right.
but I am a-okay with that. So I bought one for my EDH. So now I have a copy to put in my EDH.
So pretty, so lovely,
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah.
And they're currently $450.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's gonna be another wave of them next week for all the people that play in the Final Fantasy card game that are gonna be like, what am I supposed to do with this card? Like,
Yeah.
so
Sell it
Well,
for
don't they get the-
$400.
they get
They
They
know how
get
to
the
sell
Final
cards, though.
Fantasy
People
one.
know how to
You
sell.
get both. You get both.
You get both.
You both.
Oh.
Because everybody was
Yep.
like, "What are you buying the Final Fantasy card for?" They're like, "That's the throw-in," because I don't want that card. Like, I'll give you a buck for it because
Garbage.
it doesn't do anything for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy I got one, and even if it goes down, I feel like I only paid $100 for it, so fine.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
If
unique.
there's any Final Fantasy tournaments around that hat.
I think it's only in Japan.
Only in Japan.
Yeah,
That one's
it's
Japan
it's
only.
there. It's like con exclusive stuff. So whatever is out in the ether that's it.
Yep.
Same with like those clouds. That's why those clouds were out of control
Yep.
with the pricings. But last thing I want to say about Vegas, and I forgot to mention this. Shout out to Antonio. Seriously, thank you for your help with the
Yeah,
running the event.
dude.
It goes a long way. Like,
Yep.
I think the ideal number is 4 people. We could do it with 3.
Definitely appreciated it.
Yeah, so shout out to you, man. Like I forgot to mention that, but yes, I greatly
Yeah,
appreciate your
yeah.
help, man. Yeah,
Thanks for being my proxy.
exactly. So, all right,
Honorary 5th member.
here we go. I guess we can hit it up. We'll just talk about the Pro Tour. Have you ever seen so much red in your life? My God, all 8 decks had red in it.
God, it's so,
So funny.
beautiful.
40% of the format was blue-red cutter. So 40% of decks were playing Corey Steel Cutter, and then of those 40%, those decks were also playing anywhere from 2 to 4 VVs. I think VV was an issue for people getting them in time. So
Yeah, they
Well, also
were
there's-
hard to find.
yeah,
It's like a
I don't
give
think
and
I
take.
saw any in booths. Like, legitimately, I don't know.
they
I
were,
don't think
you
there were
had to
very
get them
many.
that day. Like,
Handball kept them in.
yeah, they might have got them after the Pro Tour started, but what I'm saying, the day before the Pro Tour, like if 40% of the players that were playing needed 4 VVs, and let's say you're a team of 8 people that are all registering this deck, like it's hard to obtain 32.
Yep, even if
VVs.
you have connections.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got 8 for you, dude.
You'd be like, I
Sorry.
got 8, yeah, exactly. So it's like nobody, like stores aren't really cracking packs, and if you want to live the lottery of like I gotta wait for these to come in the mail, and then people scumbag you on TCG Play like this went up $20, canceled order, you know, like
And
then you're just
suddenly your deck is ruined for.
yeah. So there
World
was definitely
Tour.
a super buyout for like VVs on Thursday because people actually it was Thursday because I think they have to register their decks either Wednesday by midnight or Thursday morning. Like they have there's a hard
Makes sense.
cutoff. So I think it's like a 24-hour notice. You
Dude,
either have them or you don't.
I just want to say this because I know there was also draft portions in
like this deck's
Magic.
only got 2 VVs. It's like come on, man. What is
So that's what I was gonna say. It's like a give and take. Vivi is a very strong card, but when a format's like predominantly dominated by aggressive decks, you have to weigh your pros and cons because you going turn to Corey Steelcutter into a Vivi and not being able to cast anything
Yeah.
sets you back pretty far.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
talking to some people about it. They were saying that in the mirror, you actually like VV is amazing against the rest of the format, but it's actually bad in the mirror. In the mirror, you want the Monastery Swifter. That's the better version, and that's probably why Red Deck just ran over them, just because you just get started faster. Plus, Red Deck is
Hey, Red Deck had a Final Fantasy card in it.
self
Had
destruct.
one self-destruct.
Oh yeah.
I was laughing so much because today I saw on Facebook someone selling stamped cards, from the
the PT.
Final Fantasy draft. So, it was like the good cards, so Sephiroth,
Yeah.
VV, and a couple other things. And some guy in the comments was like, bro, you could just do that at home. This is BS. This is fake. Like, they open those packs and they pre-seed them to make sure that people can get... And people were like, dude, you're an idiot. You know how many people play in the Pro Tour? Like, yes, they are going to open these cards. There's going to be plenty of them opened.
Yeah.
How dumb are you? I was loving it.
Yeah,
It's killing me.
331 players played, so a total
Just
of
like
and there's 2 drafts. Actually, let me rephrase that. Everybody plays draft day 1, and then if you have a 4-4 record, you get to go to day 2. Other than that, you drop.
dudes who literally know nothing about it go,
Yeah.
bullshit, they seeded those packs. What are you talking
Yeah.
moron?
It's like, no.
I loved it. It was killing me.
That's very funny, right? No, so from this, like they showed the format breakdown, which was number 1 with Blue Red Eagle, the second play deck was Mono Red, and then like Omniscience, and then it really just tanks after that. Like it was a bunch of not a lot. Omniscience combo was actually one of the decks that cleaned up really good because it's got some good main deck stuff. Also, one of the cards that really gets them is Temporary Lockdown, which is a beating for those decks kind of because they don't really have a good way to get rid of it. And then just the rolling Dragon Storm plus Omniscience. Sometimes you just auto get them. You're just like, I'm just going to turn 5 this combo, and you're gonna die. So, yeah, it was fascinating in that sense. But other than that, there was really no bean decks that did well. Like Vivi just said, you want to play beans, you're losing out so
Slow.
much. Yeah, you're gonna die. You're just going to lose to me. Just cutter. It's, I mean, with 40% of the Pro Tour being cutter, it's gonna just naturally fall that way, right?
Crazy.
So.
It's so crazy.
So, Worlds is coming up. I think that's Atlanta. You're not gonna be able to play it at Worlds. Let's just put it that way. That's
I was gonna say we have a ban on Monday.
yeah, this upcoming Monday, which I have to imagine it's. I mean, it's multiple things are gonna get hit, right? They could. I wouldn't even be surprised if like Stock Up's got to go too, because that card is ridiculous. I don't think they're gonna ban Vivi. It doesn't seem like the right move. But Corey Steelcutter for sure.
5 cards should be banned that would completely change standard and open it up. I think that's Monstrous Rage.
Yep.
Manifold Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Steelcutter. Stock Up. And the last card is you ban Beans, so that doesn't just take over the format.
You think
once it's
Manifold,
out of the way.
the mouse has one, not Heartfire Hero?
Yep.
I just disagree with that. I think Heartfire Hero is the issue. Yeah, I think
I
this
think
card's
it's the
better.
trample. The trample is what makes that like. This card loses a lot of like build up if you lose Monstrous Rage and Manifold Mouse, because going turn 1 Heartfire here into Manifold Mouse is normally the move you go.
Yeah, then you
which is
take
4
what?
damage on turn 2.
Yeah, and then if I'm gonna play a temporary lockdown, I'm all squared away. Mainly the blood.
Exactly,
Yeah,
sure.
the blood is when you
But
get the self destruct, right? Or any kind of fling of blood.
Self-destruct or anything like hitting it with a Monstrous Rage once to give it trample. Like the fact that giving it like trample is the biggest thing because it makes blocking pointless.
Yeah, you can't block this format. It's a big mistake.
Yeah, and I think if you get rid of Manifold Mouse and Monstrous Rage, I think you really open up blocking again. Because double strike is fine, whatever. It's the trample that the Manifold Mouse gives plus the counter.
Sure. Yeah, you'll see all these decks cut Mage Bane Lizard, which is really funny because it's only good against like it's only good against Corey Steelcutter. It's like their main deck tech. So you get rid of the Mage Bane Lizard, like they opens up a 4 more. It's basically just throwing.
It's not
Swiss
bad
Spears.
against the Pixie decks either, though.
I wouldn't be mad if they got rid of Screaming Nemesis either. That card is stupid.
That
Screaming
card's
Nemesis is
against this
good.
That
day.
card is stupid. It just
Card's good.
it makes it so if you ever like play a tap land, you're dead, which it's not good for the format. So, but they
I think
did.
If you get rid of that, you fully remove red from the format.
No, they'll still
No
be
way.
they'll still be here. You'll just have to play like a
'Cause then they
traditional
just
Boros
do
Burn
die
deck.
to temporary. They just die to temporary.
Then you
lockdown.
play Boros Burn. You still have Burn. Like,
It's so bad.
I mean, it's bad because the version of Red is so sick. Like, you could play 4 Burst Lightning, 4 Lightning Strike, 4 Monastery Swift Spirit, like a classic like burn deck, and you'd be fine.
Oh
Like,
yeah, those classic burn decks that do so good in every other format.
well,
They're-
they've all died out. The only home it's got left is here, but they've killed them out of here somehow too. Like, you can't play it. They made these too good. Let's just put it that way. So we shouldn't have Sunspire links or Sunspine links and Screaming Nemesis to both exist. That both have clauses say players can't gain lives. It's like, come on, bro. Like, this is nuts.
Double up.
Yeah. I don't think you need Omniscience because then the Dimir decks get better. Like, Dimir actually preys on this deck, but it's so bad against Red and Cutter that you're like, yeah, you can't be playing Pix or like the Pixie stuff. Like, that stuff is just heinously bad, especially when everybody's got burn for your deep cavern bat. But aside from all that, so you think that you said those 5 cards?
I think those 5 cards would really open up the format.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Pixie takes over, and they also lose because I think Pixie runs stock up also.
Yeah, they do.
So like, I mean, I guess the Pixie decks would still be like good, but I think there's enough in the format to like combat it. Like Ogari would be able to be actually played again.
Yeah.
Setek is rough. I'm like, no offense to the person that got there, I'm surprised they got 24 points.
Yeah, sometimes you
with
just
Golgari.
you get good matchups, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I was
fascinating to look at.
Because you can still have Vivi decks, they just won't be as like kill you on turn 4 as they are now without Corey and all the other stuff in stock up. Red gets knocked down a peg where it actually has to try. Like it most likely would get taken over by the Leyline decks, which are glass cannony, so those are easy to like combat too.
Yeah. There was a comment that was like, why aren't people just playing 4 braids in their main deck? Because that would have been like great to have, and just like nobody played braid. I was like, nah.
It's
like,
really
I love
good
Braid.
in the one matchup, but really bad in like
In
a lot
everything
other.
else, yeah.
if
Like
okay,
if you aren't playing against these decks,
like I was
right?
well, 40% of the time you're playing Corey Steel Counter, and then the other 17% of the time you're playing red deck wins. So based on coin flips, 50% of the time you're gonna be running into one of those decks.
It'll
which,
be good.
yes, it'll have things to hit, which is great. But at the same time, it's just, you know, what are you gonna do, right? Then you'd just be soft to this deck, real soft to that. But yeah. All right. So I agree. There's gonna be some bans. I hope they just go for the big shakeup and just go like, hey, we got to get rid of Corey's 2 cutter. That's very obvious. And then as far as the other bans that come along with it, like, it is what it is. We just can't have red deck be the only deck because it makes it so that like no clouds, no Sephiroths, no Tifas get played. Like I think if you want your new sets to be premiered, which Dragons of Tarkir did show up in resounding numbers. You know, you want something else. So that's where we're at. They could even ban Storm Chaser's talent just because that stupid loop of that and this town ain't big enough. Like that's a dumb loop. Like that needs to be fixed too. There's a lot going on. I'm just complaining really. All right, but that's enough about standard.
I love playing the format though.
First,
I've been
look
enjoying it.
into edges. What's it called? This called edging.
Edges of Eternity. It's called edging.
Edging.
Edges of Eternity.
Yeah, edges of
Look
eternity.
into edging.
Yeah.
It's a Star Wars set.
It looks.
Nah, Star Trek, dude.
Yeah, we got 5 shock. We got 5 shock lands coming back, right? So that means we're gonna get the next 5 somewhere else. They revealed the Tezzeret, which is a 3-mana planeswalker that's colorless, and then it says whenever an artifact enters, you put a loyalty counter on it, and then it's got 0 mana. Untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a 1 counter on it. Guess what? This is a combo with Time Vault. Surprise, surprise. -3. It goes and searches for a Time Vault. Surprise, surprise. And then -7. Doesn't matter because you're playing Time Vault. I mean, what else would you do with this, right?
Well, this art's way cooler than the first one that I saw.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one looks terrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought he looked like a
Looks
Johnny
awful.
in this a little.
Yeah. So,
He looks terrible, right?
yeah. As far as like goes, this is like a Urza Saga. Like that's how it feels to me. Like the fact that its emblem makes 0/0 robot artifacts and so forth. But searching for an artifact that has value 1 or less is going to be really relevant. They just keep making better and better cards. I could see this seeing a home maybe in Tron Modern. I know Tron's like a dead horse, but maybe this has a home there just
might
because.
be able to make it.
Yeah, because it's like Urza Saga. It goes and searches for your one of bullets, and it's castable when you don't have Tron. So like that's always something.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like that. But other than the set, they showed like the crazy foils they do up on the screen here, which they're doing. There's 2 different ones. They have like a full art Mutavault, which is like this, which I think Mutavault's back in the set. I don't think this is
weird.
or maybe this is Stellar Sights. Never mind. This is not in the set. This might be the bonus sheet. And then they have this crazy one.
I love this one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like they call them Stellar Sights. So I think this is not from the main set. It's just from the bonus sheet stuff. So, and they have a crazy looking foiling, and then there's some main deck cards that get like this crazy secret layer treatment. So there's
Black hole.
yeah, so Thara, the Super Void, which is a legendary enchantment. I'm not gonna read the card. If you want to read these cards, go ahead. But I'm just displaying the art for the cast, and then it has like this crazy looking textless version of
Wow.
it. So.
That looks like
It's like a secret.
layer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you can get these in the set, and they're Edges of Eternity, the glossy, whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of, and then they have this like final, like this. They have a black hole version, and then I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's like a white bordered version. So that's for me. They did this for
Weird.
me.
That's so weird.
It's a fractured foil, is what they call
Maybe
it.
it makes it stand out. I
It
guess.
extends the picture, but the border stays white.
It's the fractured foil that they gave to like the mists,
Oh,
the
yeah.
those
Overlords.
yeah, there you go. Those cards. Yeah, and then there's a rule change coming along with it too, which I guess I could read this card, but there's a card called the Suraima. I'm gonna call it the Suraima. Sarima? The Sarima? Okay, I believe you. It's white 1 for a legendary artifact, Spacecraft. When this thing enters, you can search your library for a legendary creature card. And if you reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then it has an ability called Station. You can tap another creature you control to put charge counters equal to its power onto the spacecraft. And then as a sorcery, it's an artifact when it has 7+ charge counters, which I think is going to vary from card to card. Which once it has like this little emblem of like 7+ on the side, and then it becomes a 5/5 flyer that says other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. So the idea is you play things to like pseudo crew it, but it doesn't go back to being a spacecraft, if you will. It stays once it's finally been crewed up. So proliferate is one of the mechanics in this set. So there'll be other ways to get charge counters onto it. It's just fascinating that like, I don't know if this is worse, and you can only do it as sorcery, so it makes it so you can't do like tricks with it. But I mean, I guess you could pay like a 7/7 and immediately crew it. I don't know. Like that, this ability does not seem good to me. Seems bad.
It's like it's 30 years of Magic. They gotta make new things.
Fair
I
enough.
get it.
It's
I
just
get it.
Magic
It's like, I
with
get it.
space
Like
hats.
and like with this rule change, you can now like use vehicles as your
hats.
commander. 'cause
That
this
is
guy can
correct.
be your
Yeah,
commander.
legendary artifacts can. Is it spacecrafts and vehicles?
Specifically vehicles and
Spacecraft
spacecraft.
and vehicles, yeah.
So
Which no one's going to do, and if we do, it's like just with your friends or whatever.
yeah, like,
Funsies.
I don't. There's like I don't even know how many vehicles, like legendary vehicles, there
Or-
are.
I
Best
think the only one,
vehicle
like, with
commander already can be
Heart of
used as
Kieran,
a commander.
Heart
Yeah.
of Kieran or whatever. Hang on.
Heart of Kieran's a good one. Yeah.
Oh,
What's
wait, and like
the big
the
boat?
blue-white one. The blue-white one, Shurikai or something. like
that one's
one
that one's
already can be
yeah, you
used.
can chariot.
It has the ability.
Is
to-
Zika Chariot? Oh, that would be.
That's
busted
not-
as
that's
your
not-
fucking-
That's a pretty good one. That's like the best one
as
you
your
can do.
commander, as Zika Chariot. Oh,
Yeah, and that's got a cool pretty art. So go get your Kaldheim pretty art ones of these right away.
right.
Go get these because these are cool. But yeah, I think that's like the.
That secret layer drop's way cooler.
It is very cool.
There's a black one too. There's a black one. I don't know if it's legendary though.
I think it is. It's from Amonkhet because it's
No,
only.
it's
No,
from.
it's not from
No, it's
Amonkhet.
from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aether
right here.
Drift.
Oh
It's
no,
from
this
Aether
isn't
Drift.
legendary. My bad.
It's from Aether Drift. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Or I'm
can't
sorry,
remember.
not Amonkhet. Whatever it's called. But this one's
I
not
have,
legendary.
I have the yellow border version of it.
Yeah. So, that's the first look that we got here. This thing not having reach really bothers me. Like what the?
The long
It
neck.
looks like the thing from.
It looks just like a
It's
long.
like a game, Horizon
Oh,
Zero
Man's
Dawn.
Sky.
or something.
no
Oh,
Man's Sky, that shit game.
Horizon Zero Dawn. There's
Yeah.
also monsters or like dinosaurs like this in No Man's Sky.
Kavus
Yeah,
are
No
back,
Man's Sky.
baby. Yeah, there's Landfall on the set, which I think is just an evergreen ability now. There's
Yep.
Human Artificers, which are gonna. Yeah, you can look at the set.
Hang on. Bro, all right. So you clicked on that, and I thought the symbol was the Ikoria symbol.
This one.
Oh yeah, with like
See,
the
I thought
little
it
edge
looked
on
like
top.
The last joke set they did.
They did reveal the two
Unsanity.
commander front guys, which are interesting. Which is a Jund 2 for
Insect.
Insect Druid. Yeah, you can play lands from your
Right.
graveyard, so really cool for Jund. And then
Nice.
whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a 1/1 counter equal to the Surreal's Genesis Shepherd's power onto another creature. So if you sack a land, you can give something 2 1/1 counters, which is not nothing. That's cool. And then the other one is Kylo Apogee Mind, which is Jeskai for a 3/3 haste, and then when it becomes tapped, you just proliferate. So that one's like real on the nose, but that's just like a proliferate deck. So, yeah, look out for those. On there.
This is just Magic characters with hats again.
These are
Yeah,
brand new.
yeah.
No, these are new. These are
No.
unique. These are unique characters.
No, these are.
No.
I'm
We
saying
didn't throw like
Max.
Tiny Bones and Oko.
Everybody knows. We all know what they do now. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll
It's
see.
too
What
late
this,
to go back.
this is like we only have, and then they have new galactic looking lands, which they did with like everybody's just like this is Unfinity. This is Unfinity
That's
Part
what I was
2.
saying. The symbol reminds me of Infinity.
Yeah, it's Unfinity Part 2. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Prices on collector boosters.
No. Show me the spoiler card.
What, Aang?
The
You want
other
to
one.
talk about
Yeah,
Aang?
we might as well. You're talking about spoilers.
Alright.
You might as well bring this up.
They did show.
I just want to say, I told this to Tony. I love the implications that this flips from Moon Mist because it just makes me think of like Aang getting misted with the moon out and going like, "I'm going into Avatar mode," like getting pissed off and just flip it over.
Yeah, let's see if I have. Hold on, let me see if I have.
It's very stupid. I
One of
sent
my,
it to my buddy who's really into Avatar, and he's like, "That is
Dude, I
the
saw
dumbest
I
and
was in
funniest
line,
thing."
And I saw the promo go up, and like they showed like the animation of making the avatar or the.
Yeah, when they were doing it, that was very cool.
This is so sick! I got fucking hyped when I was in line.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Yeah, I have a little gif of like just Moon Mists, just the Fago soda, just instead of the art, just Moon Mist, because that's what happens to anything that's not a werewolf. Just they suck down the Moon Mist. But yeah, so we don't know what firebending does yet. They did a very neat thing where they showed us like the premium version of Aang. So it's 4 colors, not black. For a 4/4 flying firebending 2, it's a human avatar ally. So I think allies and maybe what's the other ones? The anti-ally, the villains. What do they call? Outlaws. They might have like villains versus outlaws. I don't know if they'll keep the terminology there. But basically, when it says when you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, and airbend, draw a card. So thematic to Aang. And then if you've done all these, it transforms, and then it turns into Aang, Master of Elements, which is a 6/6 flyer, and spells you just cost Woober or less. So that also includes black. So this is not a 4-mana commander. This is in fact a 5-mana commander. So you're gonna, yep. And then at the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Aang, Master of Elements. If you do, gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4 1/1 counters on him, and then deal 4 damage to each opponent. So like it lets you do cool stuff. But the fact that it's just like Wooberg for everything cheaper, now I can only spend Wooberg to get my Progenitus out. Win-win, baby.
Also,
What do you
forget
think
bending. Just
bending
fucking
is?
Moon
What do you
Mist his
think
ass.
bending is bending just casting the spell maybe?
We don't know because it has bending 2, and then like how are you gonna like water bend, earth bend, or air bend? It might just be one of those like
On the
generic.
same turn.
It might be like one of those generic things where it's like, did you cast? I think you might be actually on
Hold
the
up.
point here.
What if
Did you
it's,
cast
like,
a red spell? Did
tapping
you cast a blue
mana?
spell, a white spell, and a green spell?
Maybe it cares about devotion in this instant or on the spell. Like it's like, did you cast a red spell? Right. Say it again.
Oh, that could be.
That's what I think it
I
might
was
be.
gonna say, what if it was tapping mana? Because that's kind of like bending.
Yeah.
Oh.
So all you have to do is just tap mana and then
Also-
just
Tap a mountain.
Here's
Spend.
a question.
yes.
The back card of this card, what color is it?
What? It's colorless on the back,
We're
right?
colored.
No.
Correct.
Really?
I saw a post because like people take into consideration commander too much. They're like, no, this card is 5 color on the back.
Oh yeah, it's color identities 5.
identity
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
different than its color.
Is it really no color?
Yeah,
identity?
it's
They
color.
usually-
That.
So when they
I thought they'd take whatever it is
Look
from.
at this little symbol.
Here,
or
look,
whatever.
let's look up Garrick.
I guess
This
not
is
because
the
you think of like
exact example
Delver.
I
Oh
used.
no, Delver.
Garrick. They do this. They show the color
Right.
identity there,
Okay.
and it is not. Well,
Interesting.
this who knows? Maybe the premium version doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they showed that.
Interesting.
So that was. I mean, I'm pretty like for people that like Airbender. I think MagicCon Atlanta is literally the week that Spider-Man comes
Dropping.
out. Yeah, it's intense, but it's not Pro Tour Spider-Man. It's Pro Tour Edges of Eternity.
Spider-Man Pro Tour.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Oh my god.
I think Spider-Man cards may not be legal for that Pro Tour, even though you can draft that Spider-Man there. So,
Weird.
yeah, legal things.
Magic is weird.
It sure is. Yeah, but so, good way to kick off like the hype for this set. I wonder what if Aang's got to be the serialized card, right? Unless is there something emblematic? Is there like a Cabbage Man that needs to be that's serialized?
No, the Cabbage Man will
My
not be
cabbages!
serialized.
They should do that. That'd be sick. Everybody would want it. It's just
No matter how much you love the memes, that is not going to be the serialized
Super
card.
Need the
Oh.
princess to turn into the moon or
hell,
whatever,
make it
transform into
Appa
the
or
moon.
whatever. What's his base serialized Appa, where it's like some kind of saddle, which it's gotta have saddle, right?
No, stop it.
It's got to be a bad
So
card,
bad.
you know. All right. Let's talk Final Fantasy.
Ugh.
It's just getting out of hand. It was getting out of hand at the convention,
Getting
literally.
out of hand. It's been out of hand.
No, $70 boosters I could swallow. They're selling like on TCG Player for like $115, and I got people messaging me right now because I have mine listed for $110. They're just like, "You got more?" I'm like, "I do." like let me buy them. So the hunt for the golden chocobo continues, and then yeah, it's this is the first time I've seen this with Magic ever, where a product went so high. Like the Lord of the Rings never did this. Like not, I don't recall it. Maybe it was Lord of the Rings did this.
Definitely not like this.
Now they are. Now I'm saying on the release, like they
not.
there wasn't $1,200 collector boosters the first 3 months of Lord of the Rings.
The EDH decks were not,
Yeah, in fact,
$500. They were not.
Oh yeah, the
everything is
All right,
crazy.
boys.
Everything's crazy.
I gotta go to bed.
See ya. Bye.
See ya,
Bye.
bye-bye.
It is 11. See ya. Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings collector
Wait,
booster.
let
I
me
know
see what
that.
the price of this
I know
is.
what there's the holiday one, but I don't want that one. I just want this one. Okay, so those are still pretty high, but when they first, okay, this is all this year. Let me get a 1 year price history. Okay, and that was 1 year after, so they're about like $45. That's not too crazy.
Right, I guess.
And then like the 2 year history when it first came out, like they weren't this crazy. Lord of the Rings was not this nuts.
True.
So they're up there now.
Boy.
See, dude. I guess I'll save that segment for next week because JB didn't know what Earl was, and I was like, "You bitch." He called it an elemental. I was like, "Come on, man." Yeah, it's an elder giant.
Ah.
You guys are just so bad at it. I hate you
I didn't
guys.
play that
I
bad
would have known
card.
that.
Yeah. So, yeah, these prices are for Final Fantasy. They were nuts at like the first day, like vendors were buying them at 60, and I think the Sunday vendors were buying them at like 80, 85. They're like, we want this stuff because they all run TCG Player stores, and yeah, it's this. I thought booster pack collector booster boxes at 800 was going to be the number. No, they're selling 400 of them sold for about the range of 900 to 1200. So like this is getting.
There's got to be a holiday. They have to do a second run. They have to.
I mean, at this point, because even if you did, they wouldn't have you'd have to have the search foils ready to go. You'd have to do something different for them, unless they're just
Yeah,
gonna
You
like
have
for
to
Lord
do
of the
like the
Rings.
poster arts or some shit like that.
Polygon arts or PS1
Polygon arts, yes.
covers. Do like
You
the
have to do
game
a
covers.
second set of serialized cards.
Yeah, which they do that with the Lord of the Rings. Isn't it like one of 100? Yeah,
Yeah, you
do
can get,
that.
like,
People will.
serialized one.
I mean, all you have to do is like just call Final Fantasy. Hey, we sold out in a day. It's all gone. You want to collab real quick? Like get your people on the phone. We'll make millions right now. Like, because they haven't announced anything holiday yet, and they usually do every year. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that these prices are nuts. Like I'm so tempted to open up packs, but I don't know. I have a credit card I already have to pay because I bought stuff. Yeah.
I love Final Fantasy, and I know Final Fantasy is like widely loved. I did not expect it to be this.
I do not get it at all.
Oh, I mean, the games are amazing, man. Like, I get it.
It's
like,
gotta be a
that
generational-
aspect, but
it's a
like,
generational
I don't
thing.
Understand like the
Right,
price.
exactly. by you guys saying you did not expect this, you guys are also saying you don't get it at all. Like it doesn't make sense.
I just can't. It's blowing my mind. It's just this hunt for these cards. The hunt for the Sephiroth, the VVs, the Cloud, the search foils are like so crazy. Like Cloud search foils keeps going up. Like it just won't stop. Maybe Cloud's a bad one to type in. I'll do this one.
Probably.
Let's see if I can get the search foil of this. We'll just go like this. Whoopsie. Yeah, the search foil. Let's see what its price. So it started off high, dipped to about 200. And then the week of Vegas happened, and then every booster got open there, and then now this is the price. So, holy crap! So you can still hit lottery boxes, right? Like there are people opening up Tifas and all this other stuff. It's just, man, this is crazy. This is like the craziest I've seen Magic players, and people were happy to buy it and just immediately crack it for like. And I bought a pack for $90 and just crack it. I was like, dude, that in my head, a $90 pack would get you a $90 would get you 36 booster packs of like Return to Ravnica. like that's just not a thing. But
I have not opened a collector pack of this set, and I don't think I will ever be able to. 'cause
I have not
just
either.
it's
cannot
we're at
justify the
yeah
price.
we're at the
Oh wait,
point.
no, I take that back. I didn't open one.
If they would have been at 60, I would have done it because I was buying Fallout packs at like 50 when they did jump up. 'cause
Yeah.
I love that set, and I love Fallout. I could do 60, but like 120 for a pack.
You gotta
is
hit up
insane.
Target. You have to catch the Target restocks.
They're
Yeah.
already gone. Targets, they don't. So it's a company that does that, and they're only gonna get it one wave. Oh my god, the still is really high. I didn't play 14. I don't know this game, but this is like anime
Stall
cat
is
girl.
the shit.
Yeah. So I mean, just like the top cards are. I wanted this Celeste. Someone in line said I had one. And I was like, oh shit, I'll buy it right now. They're like, yeah, $60. I was like, okay, like here's $60. And he's like, he showed it to me. It was just a non-foil. I was like, oh, never mind. Like I already have this. But the top end really hits. But can you justify buying a $1,200 box and not getting one of these? Yeah, and then you just feel smoked.
And on top of it, you have to hit at least 2 to come like close to recuperating.
Well, you could hit like this, a VV, a random,
Well,
because all I'm doing
I
is looking
guess.
at like the.
Ristic Study.
Yeah, you could do a foil Ristic Study. Like, there's still some bangers out of the set.
The non-foil Ristic Study is $100.
Yeah.
Can you even get those foil? I thought you could.
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah. Those come foil. You can get the Atraxa foil.
The foil Ragavan is $200.
Yeah, that one's a. The Atraxa is really desired because of the. I think
Sephiroth,
is it
think
called?
they
Is it
have
just
it.
called Sephiroth? They don't have it. Okay, I don't know.
It's right there, dude.
Here, no.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
right there,
Shine
second
Beautifier
row.
Sapphire.
Oh, right here. Yeah. So this regular, and then I guess the foil is $350. So yeah, it's pretty drastic. And like even this one's a bang. I mean, this card looks good. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
We're not going.
That
there.
art is sick, though. That art is iconic.
It's very good. Like the fucking what is it? The Genova
Genova.
juice. Yeah. Yeah, it's
I just rewatched Advent Children.
yeah. So, all right. From all that, we can go into the 2026 schedule. I guess MagicCon is going to go to. I guess we'll do MagicCon Chicago, or sorry, MagicCon 2026, which they revealed the schedule. Which there's only 3 cons, which is fine, but they're super late. There's none of them in the first 4 months of the year. So it's MagicCon Las Vegas 2026, May 1st to the 3rd. Amsterdam again, which is July 17th to the 19th, and then Atlanta once again. They're gonna go back in November 13th through the 15th. So it's like, okay. And then they did announce the Pro Tour will be actually a closed event for only the participants. It won't be open to the public, and then they'll do all the other championships there. Fascinating in that sense, but Jesus, man. I like the idea of only 3 MagicCons. It makes them feel a little bit better. Because remember they were doing like a GP every weekend for like a minute, and that was like a little bit overkill. I think this gives people time to reset or recuperate. And maybe Chicago's attendance wasn't as where they wanted it to be, because the attendance for Vegas was at an all-time high. There was 22,000 people.
I mean,
But-
Chicago was 18,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still really high.
Yeah, maybe give some people breathing. Maybe wait till tax season comes around and then just have people fucking pop off in Vegas. Yeah, so that's what we see now. I don't see any other conventions. I can't imagine them being just kind of dormant for the first 4 months. Maybe they'll do some kind of random team up, like, hey, we're teaming up with TCG player, and they're going to run a convention too, but they're not calling it MagicCon. Yeah, and then the MTG release schedule. We know two sets that are release schedule. Just 2026. So right off the front of the year, they have Lorwyn. Okay, get out of here, AI. Shut up. Come on, bro. Not interested. Get this shit out of here. Sorry, I'm just being a little bitch. Release calendar, sure. Yeah, so we know. Okay, anyways, Lorwyn's coming out in January. It's called Lorwyn Eclipse, and then it's Strixhaven. Secrets of Strix. What the fuck ever. This is why nobody uses you. This is why nobody uses you. Okay, well, like here. Sure, we'll go here. There we go. Secrets of Strixhaven is coming out later that year, and then Lorwyn is coming out the beginning, which is called Lorwyn Eclipsed, which is cool. But it's hard to get hyped for these sets because I am assuming next year we have another Marvel set because we were teamed up with Marvel for the next 5 years. It seems like because we're just doing Spider-Man. And I'm sure they're gonna do X-Men. I'm sure they're gonna do Avengers, and then some cataclysmic giant thing where it's a giant team up where they kind of end the saga and then move on from it, so yeah. Secrets of Strixhaven, I wonder if they're gonna do those
The archives again.
yeah, it seems like they should, but they kind of already hit a lot of the good cards, so yeah, I don't know.
Now we can get a Monster Surge one in the stock up.
Yeah, that'd be fair. Yeah, Secrets
I am
of
excited
Strixhaven.
for Lorwyn. Like,
Me too.
It's still to this date one of my favorite sets.
Yeah.
The fact that it's called Eclipse is cool because I think it refers to the fact that Ash burned all of Lorwyn at the end.
Oh, no kidding.
Like,
I didn't know that.
No,
Eventide
I
or
thought it was
Eveningtide.
the Eventide or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like the Eclipse or the Great Aurora or whatever.
Yeah.
but Ash is the one that started it. That's why her card goes from red to black because she becomes evil.
Oh,
Ashling.
Yeah, Ashling.
there you go.
I was like, are you talking about Grateful Dead? Or not Grateful Dead, Evil Dead?
Eclipsed.
I was just shortening her name.
Yeah. So, looks cool. Yeah, the one thing I will say about this, the return of Light and Shadow. Oh, wow. Okay. Or Return to the Light
Are
and
we
Shadow.
going to day and night? Oh my god, that was the dumbest mechanic.
Please don't do that. That would really
I'm just
stink.
hoping the art is as good as it was in the original Lorwyn block. Because
Agreed.
that was like one of the best things about it, man. The art was just so vibrant and pretty.
So, I think for them to go back to and stop going to Ravnica and Innistrad every fucking 4 years, this set needs to hit, so then they can go to Alara. That's really what I
Agreed.
want. That's what I want. Get me back to Alara
I mean,
somehow.
Neon Dynasty was a hit, so let's
Yeah.
hope this hits.
And maybe there's also because this falls under that nostalgia because that was all 2000 Mirrodin's 2004 through 2009, but we've returned to
Lorwyn
Mirrodin
came out
twice.
in 2000.
8 or 7, in between. It was 7 to 8, 8 to 9 is Shards, 9 to 10 because 2010 was Zendikar.
Yep.
So that's the time frame. We've returned to Zendikar. We know fetchlands are great. Lorwyn has a little bit of a stain on it because of fairies. I think that really hurt people from playing standard, and they haven't returned to that.
And Kithkins, bro.
Sure, giants, Kithkins, tree folk, just you name it.
I'm saying the Kithkin deck was a real deck too.
Elementals, maybe Omnath will be in Lorwyn, but this looks like elves, and maybe they're gonna be. This could be the tricolor set, because I know it was white green elves, and then they go to black green elves, and they kind of do this weird, amalgam. So they could do a tricolor set. That would be nice. I would like that. That would go well with Tarkir, but
Yeah, goblins went from black red to red white.
no, red green. They were red green. It was Wart one. They all did the thing. They had that was really cool of what
There
they
was a
did.
red white card though.
There
like,
was.
hybrid cards for Goblin.
I believe you. I do. Like the idea was like whatever
Maybe it
Wart was doing.
primarily. Now that you mention it, I do believe it was primarily red.
Yeah, like Wart was red black, and then she became red green, or yeah. That was like the whole like them changing and shifting into something else, which I thought was very cool.
Morning Tide card, not Shadowmoor.
Well, I thought so.
Or Evening Tide. Sorry, Evening Tide.
Yeah, but like there's even Sig.
Yep.
Like he goes from like I like that they did this. I thought this was very creative. That they were like, okay, they're here, and then something happens when the
shadow.
Yeah, or they turn into something else, which I thought was very cool. But we need this art. We really do. If we want this to be a cool set, we're gonna need this, and all these returning characters have to come back. You know, and I don't know how you make that.
Ask, and I know you've played a long time, Tony. I think Josh will remember this card. But there was a card from this block that specifically had a nickname of Dog Dick. Do you know what card that is?
No, I don't. What is Dog
Dick?
Dick?
Josh? It was the Demigod. Why can't I think of his full name now? It was
Demigod of Revenge.
Yep.
Of Revenge.
I don't remember that. I played that card.
No, I gotta go see the Dog Dick.
It's the promo version.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, I remember this now. Now I remember it. I didn't have those though. I had the normal.
You know what they're gonna do? I think I got it. This is to make this emblematic. You'll have Sig on the front side and Sig on the back side. Just have him be a double-sided card where it's a modal double face where if you want this side or you get the other side.
When the shadow hits, you flip the card.
No, it doesn't need to transform. It just needs to be a modal because you want to get thematic about it. Like if you were to an uncommon these days would just be putting this card in the front and then one on the back like this. You'd be like, yeah, it's playable. Do it that way. I think that's like the best way to go about it because the whole idea is like, yeah, the whole idea of Lord was the sun, the night, but Innistrad kind of took all that thunder. All right.
Lorwyn was also the first time Planeswalker showed up.
Yes, they should put all five back in there.
The original
That'd be so cool.
Get a Ajani in there. Get Garruk in there. I love Garruk, but he got screwed.
He just became someone who chews on glass. I feel like his character is just like.
I'll tell you why they are. I think it's like evident why they got rid of him. Like he was in Theros because he was just being a dipshit. But there's a reason they got with him. It was a Triumph
of the Horde.
It's one of the Triumph cards. This one. This is what got him in the shithole.
Yeah, choke now, Liliana.
Yeah, there was because it was a phallic item, so people implied something else.
That's
it was a big deal then. I was listening to that. Like, okay.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's because of like how they were like, we got to get a Garruk out of here because we can't have this heartbeat relevant. I was like, okay, goodbye, Garruk. Ride with the curse, witch, or die with me. Okay, or rid the curse. Okay, all right. That's all I got, man. Vegas was fun. Had a blast. On to the next thing, and we have 12 more weeks of products that we're gonna get hit with 3 more standard sets, back to back to back. So, and probably a holiday set, and then it was a surprise we're doing another remastered set.
Earlier every time.
Yeah, we also have a million. So, if you don't have product fatigue down,
we got Dominaria remastered. This year we got Innistrad remastered.
I think Dominaria Remastered was the first one.
Ravnica Remastered.
Ravnica Remastered. So we have Innistrad Remastered, so they might do Lorwyn Remastered to go along with the Lorwyn set.
Remastered, let's go.
Yeah, that's called Magic 30. And nobody liked that. Nobody.
I would take a Lara Remastered.
Me too. I'm all for it.
Lorwyn Remastered would be a good one because that Blackhead 4 set.
Yeah. Josh, get us out of here.
I'm gonna go with some advice from Uncle Eero, which is have a cup of tea with your friends, and it's a